Very good news as far as we're concerned. Chiliz and Enjin have partnered up. Hey everybody, Matty here with Altcoin Buzz. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great one. The market is doing very well today. We're going to be discussing that in just a second. We've also discussed these last few days Chiliz and Enjin in independent terms, but now we're discussing them jointly as they're partnering up, and we can expect more NFTs, sports NFTs, non-fungible tokens as a result. That's great news as far as we're concerned. Bitcoin is also making a lot of people happy again, according to Christopher, with the 500 million transactions mark. We'll let you know what that is all about and break it down. And then we have a Fundstrat top chartist who is saying that Bitcoin is fast approaching $11,000. That's courtesy of Bloomberg.com. Let's first, however, take a look at the markets that are performing very, very well. As I mentioned, total market cap at $273.8 billion. Things up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7% and more. In fact, looking at some of the top gainers in these last 24 hours, we have projects in excess of 20% gains, including NEM, including Hedera Hashgraph Systems, Nano, Steam, others, of course. Icon still performing pretty well over these last 24 hours, down a little bit versus what we saw yesterday, but still, it's above what we saw yesterday. It's down versus 2 days ago, but still sitting at 45.9 cents. So it's held on to the bulk of those gains it's gotten in the last week or so. And going back to just the numbered setting here, you can see that we have big gains in terms of Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, and others as well. Bitcoin itself up 3.31% in these last 24 hours, currently at $9,651. We're soon going to have to discuss the $10,000 territory. As you all know, that is massive resistance. But sooner or later, we're going to be knocking on its door. Dominance, as you can expect, continues to go down just a little bit because we have a lot of money rushing into the altcoin space as it enters this market. Bitcoin dominance, therefore, right now at 64.1%. Here on altcoinbuzz.io, very good news as far as we're concerned. Chiliz and Enjin have partnered up. Article here by Ezekiel, who urges us to get ready for more NFTs, non-fungible tokens. We got great news because Enjin has partnered with Chiliz, which will use the Enjin platform to mint NFTs for their partners. At the time of this recording, the price of Enjin has responded well with about a 3.5% rise in the last 24 hours, but Chiliz especially is up over 10%. It's just creeping up on that 1 cent mark, currently at 0.94 cents US. Again, that is up over 10% in these last 24 hours. As Ezekiel writes, Chiliz is a serious company and boasts of collaborating with sports powerhouses like Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain, West Ham, and many more. The new partnership will concern traditional sports and esports as well. And that said, two-time Dota champions are also among Chiliz partners. Alex Dreyfus, the CEO of Chiliz and Socios, said the following, quote, "We don't like to reinvent the wheel, so partnering with leading companies that can provide value to our offer and the brands we are looking for with is important for us. We've proven that we know how to work with IPS and focusing on fan engagement. We want to go to the next stage with proven tech to allow us to focus on the consumer-facing part of the business." And then you have Maxim Blagov, the CEO of Enjin, said, quote, "Forged in digital entertainment, the Enjin ecosystem offers incredible opportunities to almost all industries and applications. As one of the earliest forms of entertainment, sports is a perfect fit for both our brand and our expanding collection of blockchain gamification use cases. We are delighted to collaborate with Chiliz and explore a new way to gamify sports and esports fan engagement, and we look forward to working with them to produce unique collectibles that fans can cherish and enjoy." I am personally very excited about this news. It's the kind of thing that I always saw as a fit. You had both of these companies that were gaining a strong reputation in terms of word of mouth, in terms of the projects they were tackling, and it always felt to me like it would be an organic fit between the two. I didn't really want to hint at anything or suggest anything because I didn't have any insight into this partnership, but to see it come to fruition is very exciting and I think a very natural step forward for both, so I'm pretty excited about it. As you can imagine, both parties tweeting about this with a lot of enthusiasm. Alexander Dreyfus here talking about the news on Twitter and retweeting Enjin here, who said, "We're delighted to share our new collaboration with Chiliz to create collectibles for their roster of prominent socio sports and esports partners, including Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain, Atletico de Madrid, and Dota 2 champions OG. Similarly, you also have Enjin that is retweeting Socios and all kinds of news there with regards to this. Also retweeting links where you can read more about this on Medium.com and Chiliz.com. But very exciting news indeed. Here on altcoinbuzz.io, we have this article by Christopher. Bitcoin is making the community happy again, and that's by way of 500 million transactions, which I'm sure we can all agree is a very good result. If you're among the everyone that seems to love Bitcoin, then you're delighted. You should be delighted, rather, to find out that it's just achieved a new milestone. According to a specialized site, Satoshi, Bitcoin has something to boast about. It's just surpassed the 500 million transactions since going live over 11 years ago. Specifically, this happened yesterday, and as you can imagine, the crypto community on Twitter has been pretty ecstatic as a result. For instance, one user replied to the tweet made by Jameson Lopp, CTO, Chief Technical Officer of CASA, with the phrase that reads, quote, "Long live the king." Absolutely. Hey, 11 years in the tech space of this kind of solid growth is nothing to shake a stick at. That's pretty good. Of course, all of this happens in a certain kind of context. We're talking about the 500 millionth transaction, but as Chris writes, Bitcoin now has the task of confronting the $10,000 mark in its next price surge. This might happen. For example, Satoshi Nakamoto, a robot performing the analysis of Bitcoin price movement, has confirmed that Bitcoin keeps ascending toward $10,000. It also pointed out that the community's interest, specifically on Twitter, that has recently introduced the Bitcoin emoji, is in fact growing, and the sentiment by extension is also rising. Other analysts are also suggesting that the market is doing well, and as we've seen, altcoins in fact are surging for the first time in what seems like a while. For example, some altcoins like Icon that we covered yesterday saw a dramatic price increase in January, over 250% increase in fact. That said, the overall mood, writes Chris, seems bullish. Currently, Bitcoin is trading at about $9,600 and change. Ethereum, once bleeding, is also slowly climbing the market ladder. The coin is currently trading at about $209. And as we saw just a moment ago, that still seems to be the case, $209.34. Ethereum, we don't so much talk about it, but that has been a steady gainer this entire month of January and has saw some very, very impressive returns. Speaking of the market and what's next, here on Bloomberg.com, we have a top chartist at Fundstrat who sees Bitcoin approaching $11,000. We first got to get over that $10,000 mark to be sure, but $11,000 would be next, hypothetically, assuming we are successful. Rob Sluimer of Fundstrat Global Advisors sees the largest cryptocurrency rising through the second quarter of this year into that price range, 11K, which roughly matches a 50 to 62% recovery from its tumble between June and December of 2019, where we reached an all-time high of nearly $20,000 US. The coin regularly breaks its trend or inflects after retracing 62% of its prior move, he said. Quote, Bitcoin appears to be in a textbook re-acceleration, Sluimer wrote in a note on Wednesday. The pullback should be relatively shallow, followed by, quote, resuming its longer-term uptrend into year-end. Sluimer predicted a major pullback in Bitcoin at the end of June 2019 as it was hitting its highs for that year, and it turns out he was correct, as we all know, unfortunately. That was after he said the coin was a buy in early May as it was starting to rise parabolically. Only time will tell if Sluimer is right. I think on a long enough horizon, he's going to be 100% right. That is obvious that eventually we will get back to 11K and beyond. It's a question of when, but I think it's perhaps a possibility that we could see sooner than some would expect. So I'm on his side in this case. Fundstrat, of course, was an early mover in analyzing cryptocurrencies. Sluimer's colleague Tom Lee is regarded as a Bitcoin bull, but Lee doesn't make price predictions on the asset. I like Tom Lee, but I think he doesn't make price predictions because he's been wrong so many times now. He's a likable guy, and I'm not going to slam him for it, but he's been incorrect quite a few times. Let me know what you guys think about Tom Lee and Fundstrat, and this prediction, of course, in the comments below. Just to mention this, but there is a discussion as to whether or not Bitcoin is truly decentralized. Article here by Natalia. The platform might not be that decentralized after all. That's because token analyst experts claim that 5 Chinese mining pools collectively control almost 51% of the Bitcoin hash rate. And of course, that could be potentially a nightmare scenario if true and could lead the way towards a 51% attack Check out the article if that interests you. For further reading, we will link to it in the description below. That about wraps it up for today, everybody. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest news. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications. Let us know what you think about this Enjin and Chiliz partnership. I personally think it's the beginning, potentially, of something beautiful, and I'm very excited. Guys, we are giving away another CryptoTag Zeus starter kit this Saturday in just a couple of days. To be eligible for that prize, you got to make sure you're subscribed to Altcoin Buzz on YouTube. You got to like videos and you got to comment on videos. We first select a video at random and then a comment at random. Best of luck if you choose to participate in that contest. Best of luck if you choose to invest on this Thursday. Hopefully our portfolios are all looking a little bit better in light of this recent bump. It's good news, and good news is not necessarily something we can enjoy every day in this space. So please enjoy it in this case. Have a great Thursday, everybody. And as always, we hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.